Did he or did he not do it? If you want to see two guys who have no idea what the fuck they're doing, search them out on YouTube at NTTFGPOD and hit that subscribe button. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Yo, Rock.
Yo.
Have you ever had a dream where you're driving in a car? I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be a car, but you're with someone who's passed away, and you're with them in the dream, and like out of nowhere, like you're going along with the dream and the setting and whatever, but then out of nowhere, you're like, wait a minute, like you can't be here, right? You're dead.
Yeah.
And then I woke up. I had a dream where I'm in the car with a friend of ours that you know that passed away. And there was somebody in the back seat, and I think it was another friend, and they're still alive. But he was going fast. He was driving real fast. And I was watching the speedometer go up, 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 up. And I was like getting nervous. Like probably my heart was probably racing, like while I was sleeping. And I was like, dude, don't go to 440, 400. Don't go to 400. Like, obviously, we're not going 400 miles an hour. But I kept looking at the speedometer, and the speedometer was saying 40. Not 40, 400. It was like 400. Almost like it was like a clock instead of a speedometer. Almost it was starting to be 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And then like he kept going faster, and I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't want to look like a pussy, like, slow down, man, slow down. But I was like, oh God, I hope he fucking slows down. And the clock kept going, but I thought it was a speedometer. You know how like dreams intertwine, right? And it gets all funky.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I was like, I woke up. I had a peesh. I had to take a pee. What do you think that means? I know you're not a professional dream interpreter. Do you ever get dreams like this?
I think that you probably had maybe a little skosh before bedtime, maybe a little before bedtime.
Okay.
And you're reflecting upon life and how you're getting older. And that was a metaphor for how time's flying by and going so fast. And that you probably have a micro penis.
Gotta pay.
That's just what I got from the PM. So,
yo, Rock.
Yo.
Tonight's guest is more than an MMA legend. He's a force of nature. Whether in the cage, the streets, or on your screen, his charisma and style are pure mayhem. Please welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast, Jason Mayhem Miller. What's up, dude?
These two fucking guys.
What's up, brother?
Thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here, and I'm really stoked up, pumped up to see what you guys got in store.
Yeah. Nice. First off, how are you? You look good.
I'm good. I mean, I can't really complain. I've been worse, that's for sure. For me, I feel like, world's at my fingertips once again. And it's just, it's a good day. Every day is a good day. You're waking up, you still got a chance to win.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
Good. Positive. I like it.
So let's jump right into it.
I love when a guest comes on and he's all jacked up.
Wait. Now, I'm not trying to be some Instagram influencer, all right? It's like giving motivational quotes on my timeline. But right now, I'm just trying to express my genuine gratitude for the life that I have, and I'm doing it. So, sorry.
My man. Let's hop right into it. When we chatted text yesterday, you said you were doing the Adam Carolla show. Talk to us about that.
That is like my regular job. And it's very strange, you know. I know Adam since, the day. I think I did Loveline with him in like 2003 or something like this.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's a long time mentor friend of mine who I really respect. You know, he's like the Godfather podcast is like one of the first guys to do it. So I was very fortunate to catch him aboard. I was a super big fan of Loveline growing up and was, a regular guest during the days of my fights in Los Angeles, my early fights, and as well as my work on Bully Beatdown for MTV, where I was doing promotional at K-Rock. So I was fortunate enough to do Loveline with Adam Carolla and later Psycho Mike Catherwood. So I got to be around these like titans of radio all the time. And then now, 20 years later, I get hired on as the newsman for, you think they'd pick somebody as the newsman who could speak English without a country ass accent like me. But, I'll flex into my Midwestern neutral every once in a while. So, yeah, it's really a dream come true sort of to work with him. And he's a master at the craft. Everybody's always like, man, Mayhem can run his mouth. But, dude, that guy is an expert mouth runner.
Yeah.
He got the throttle all the way out. And sometimes I'll just be trying to jump in when he's in between breaths. But this guy's like the Kenny G of podcasting. He's just talking, like breathing through his nose, and out comes the words. It's really impressive to watch, dude. Like trying to slip in a word edgewise is like, I can't even think of a metaphor without becoming sexual.
Yes.
He
I could see that because he's so fucking polished from thousands of years doing it, and you probably don't want to you want to interject, but you don't want to come in a little fucking
say some dumb shit, like I don't want to, and it happens. It's already happened. Like I'll get it. He'll be on a roll, right? And he'll take a breath, and I'll get in there and be like, but yeah, pack animals. I'll be like, not again. I'm like, damn it. And, when something falls flat in there, and the thing is, I'm a real laughy guy. So I'll just be laughing the whole damn time, just keeping it rolling, laughing. He ain't so laughy. So if I say some fucking really top quality, funny shit, he'll go, and then that's it. I know, I got him. On the other hand, he say some, hide him in, and I'll be like, like, oh shit, I'll just be slipping, Yeah, but overall, the Adam Carolla show, man, it's a gift from God to be able to, you ever seen us? You know what I'm doing? You ever seen a sushi chef? Oh wait, you ever heard about sushi chef? A sushi master? A true sushi master, he does not touch sushi for years. For like a couple years, he just stands with the sensei and just watches another guy make sushi. And the guy doesn't even say nothing to him. He doesn't say, oh, this is how you roll the rice. This is how you cut the fish. No, he doesn't say none of that. He just does it. And you stand right there, shut the fuck up. So that's what I'm like doing right now. Shut the fuck up. Watch me work. And that's what I'm doing. And then I'm over here with you guys practicing my rigmarole. And it's a very,
I love it.
And I'm blessed about that. It's really interesting.
Adam Carolla was literally, when I didn't know what the fuck a podcast was the first podcast I remember.
Oh, let me tell you a funny story then. Okay, of those times. Circa, I don't know, 2000, around that time, 2005, 6, smoking a joint with Ari Shafir, right? And we're having a nice little conversation with another one of our buddies, and we're just chit-chatting, and then the guy kept on asking great questions, and I said, damn, man, you should have a podcast. And Joe Rogan looked back at me and said, what's a podcast?
Oh, wow.
And Ari laughed, and we laughed, And then, fuck, man, fast forward a few years later, Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
Empire. Thank God. Yeah, he's something, huh? Like, what's you guys' opinion on old Joe Rogan? Have you turned on him yet? Like,
No, Archie is like fucking high grade man worship of Joe Rogan. Just so you know.
It's a great show.
I saw this coming many years ago when I heard about that Spotify deal in between my stints in jail. I said, oh shit, he was a 300. And I said to somebody on a podcast during the pandemic, I was like, huh, well, that means now that Joe Rogan is the establishment. So how long before people turn on him?
Right?
Wow, it took a little while, but now, yeah, people are, I get it though. I get it. I mean, how much money do you got to have before you start to be a dick?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know yet. I never got to that level. I mean, actually, I did. Actually, for me, it was like $4,000. It's all
The 4K.
rich, bitch.
Nah, Joe Rogan could come on and say, all right, I think a good thing for guys to do is cut their dicks off. Archie will be like, next day, yo, we should cut our dicks off. So,
Oh, suck it, dick.
honestly.
Ooh, hey,
Fuck
brutal.
out of here.
Hey guys, look, if we're all gonna go trans, I'm going with you, man. Let's go. Come on, Rocco. Let's get it on. You know, take yours down long ways, okay, and then open up so you have double dick if you want.
I mean, Rocky already went trans fat, so
There he is. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm transitioning into a manlier man.
Nice.
yeah, man.
Hey, hey, look, but I gotta be honest with you guys. I didn't get to see much of the show. Tell me what you guys usually talk about, or I mean, am I on topic right now or what?
Right on.
Listen, Rocky told me, he goes like, because he corners the UFC fighters, the MMA fighters, right? I get a little more comedians. It's like a comedian, fighter / musician type of podcast. I know it's a big range, but that's what we're into. And Rocky was like, "Are you available next week? I'm getting Mayhem Miller on."
Thanks. Got to be here.
I'm like, "Let's go." I mean,
Yeah.
I've watched it years ago. I'm
I
like,
Up of the two things, huh? I'm like a weird ass like comedian. I mean, I'm not Brenda Schaub level, but I'm a comedian and a mixed martial arts fighter. I mean,
listen,
yeah, both of them, but that's fine. I think there's a spot for me in America these days.
you check those boxes hard.
Yeah. Where are you guys based out of? I'm not sure.
Jersey.
New Jersey.
I was just up there. We could have done this in person, bro.
I wish we got a
that's
studio
great.
too.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was in Larchmont.
Largemont.
I might have got it wrong, but it was a very nice area.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like picturesque type of dude, I was expecting to go up into the Sopranos, right? I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be fucking got myself a gun. Like I was
Yeah.
I'm about to go to the hood, and instead I went to like a peaceful countryside sort of resort area. It was a nice mall. I was like, what the hell? Where's all the gangsters? I was like,
Yeah.
this is like very gently, like you could raise a family here. I was thinking about putting down stakes and raising 2.5 kids, getting a dog and a cat.
Yeah.
Raised at that place. Like, it's pretty Jersey, you know?
You know, it's funny. I actually, that you say that, I saw you at a jiu-jitsu tournament. I forget where I was at the tournament.
Oh, I remember.
2006, I want to say, Mayhem, in Jersey City. So that's probably why you're thinking
The
of
one
like,
I flipped the table because they fucking robbed.
Yes.
Yes, that was bullshit.
Yes.
I shouldn't have lost my temper like that. Shouldn't have lost my temper. But I was just so mad that, like, I was on top of the guy the whole time, fucking zigging and zagging, doing all the work, and this guy wins by a quarter point.
Yeah.
An advantage. I'm like, how fuck this? And I needed that money too. Like, that was the days that they give you like $1,000, $2,000 to win the tournament, and I knew I could win that whole tournament. But in the first round, they give me like I lose by a quarter of a point, an advantage, like
Oh my God.
type of thing to piss me off. You know?
You got a good. I obviously pissed you off. You remember it exactly. I remember gym is fucking packed, and all you hear is Mark Lehman just Miller, come on, Miller.
Those were the days. Oh, I miss Layman, man. You're gonna make me find his number. I got a private investigator that will hunt him down. I love him.
I was gonna say, I guess I haven't heard of him in ages. So
Dude, he's always been a hermit. You know what I mean? He was like public because he had to be, but that like a type of dude. I don't want to out all his habits, but he's the type of dude that like will hide back with a nice plump booty and just hide for months. Like you never even see him. It's just watching old movies, watching South Park, bigger, longer, uncut for the 700th time. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. Yeah.
So yeah, for what we do, like you said, you fit right in the middle of the Venn diagram, right? You're intersecting different worlds. Music, sports, comedy is what we talk about, but we've been following obviously your career for a long time. I see now you're doing a lot of coaching.
Yeah, man. Look, the coaching thing is one of those things that, bud, you can make money at it, but man, you better do it because you love it.
Yeah.
I put in a lot of work hours that are unpaid, but I guess eventually to get a guy up to the high level where he makes a bunch of money. So that it's a passion project is what I do. As far as the coaching thing goes, don't get me wrong. I charge a lot of money to do a private lesson, and guys pay it. God bless them. And it's just, but also the professionals, they don't have no money yet. So it kind of subsidizes the dudes who have big money and are looking to, get some of my time I just try to inject every bit of knowledge that I can in the short amount of time that we have to work out. And they subsidize the guys who have zero money, but a ton of talent. And I just work my ass off with them. With mixed martial arts fighting, to try to get them to a higher level, kind of paying it forward for all the coaches that put my broke ass through fight camp, when I was a kid. So it's a really interesting thing, to give your knowledge and pass it down. I really had trouble making this transition, as I'm sure you guys are well aware, because it's super hard when you have a singular focus like fighting, where it's just, okay, I'm gonna fight. Okay, you just know the date that you're gonna, the guy's name, kind of know his name, and you know what weight you got to be, and that's all you focus on. All you focus on is those things for months, and it's a weird transition to go from that to, oh shit, this guy needs to make weight and that guy needs to make weight, and 2 weeks later, and then this guy needs, what part of the training camp is this guy in? And what part of this, man, and this guy's going to pay me money tomorrow to wrestle with them. Oh, son of a bitch. And then, it's like all these, like, it's really hard to transition. Now, it got a lot easier once I quit smoking weed. But, during that time of smoked outness, I couldn't really handle all the responsibility that I now can. So that was a big thing to overcome. That was something big to figure out. So now I have this clear-mindedness and focus where I can make sure that everybody got what they need. Oh, this guy needs pads. Oh, this guy's got to work on some ground and pound. Oh, it's a plate spinning kind of job. Coaching is, and then on top of that, you throw all my podcasting duties. I got other stuff going on. I got a couple of businesses I'm working on. So I really have, I guess, flowered. Wait, what's the word I'm looking for?
Blossomed.
Bloomed.
Bloomed.
I was a late bloomer, and here I am. I just had to grow a beard.
I'm curious to ask, if you don't mind,
Please.
Right before you're about to come out, did you have a game plan? Like, did you have a game plan set right before you were about to?
Yeah, bud. I mean, I don't want to oversell it. Maybe the guys are weird about it, but dude, I had a primary game plan,
a
secondary game plan, and I had a tertiary game plan, and then I had the fucking go for it, do some crazy shit game plan. If none of that worked, But I mean, granted, early on in my fight career, not really. Like I didn't have enough skills. Early on in my fight game, it was I had figured out jujitsu a bit. I knew how to get on people's back and choke them, and I knew how to yeah. So early on, it was take the guy down and like hopefully get his back and choke him out. As I rose through the ranks, that got a little too basic, and guys, I couldn't get the higher level guys down, so I turned into okay, get in a bar fight with this guy, crazy ass punches and punch, and then fall down and then triangle the guy. Like that was my next game plan. That was usually what I did. But and then what later on, Tito Ortiz taught me how to wrestle better. Okay. So then it went back to like take guys down. And then I was like, nah, don't choke them out. Ground and pound them. Ground and pound them. And then later on, after that, Colin Oyama taught me how to kickbox better. And I was like, ooh, kick the guy in his gut. If I can kick him in his gut, then I can probably win the fight, So they got basic. They stayed basic for many years. Like the game plan was just XYZ. Then as time went on, I knew different stuff and I had to fight higher level guys. The game plan went, okay, so get out there and fight from range. And, like because my kicks were good. I played soccer when I was a kid. And so for some reason I could develop a left kick and a right kick. So like I find range and kick the guy's legs. That came from, like I said, Oyama had like an old school Muay Thai kind of background. So that was the way that I would gauge my distance and get to a place where okay, now I know what the next phase of the fight was, and then I would turn it into whatever my opponent was. So I'd always go out early. I stopped doing the crazy shit where you just go and throw bungalows and then around and hope for jiu-jitsu. I stopped doing that after I fought Chael Sonnen because he just kept taking me down and I didn't submit him in time. I got close at the end of the fight, but I never, so I threw that game plan away and started off. Okay, after you kick the guy a few times and you got your range down, now what do we do? The guy has weak wrestling, let's take him down. If the guy has weak kickboxing, let's keep running with the leg kicks and straight punches. If the guy is a good kickboxer and good wrestling, let's clench him up and wear him out this way. And hopefully my cardio will carry me the way. I was blessed with a good chin. So that was also part of the game plan. Talk about this all day because with each individual opponent, it becomes a completely different game plan, and whatever you have within you and have been working on and have made strong, that's what you try to play the fight to. You always try to make the guy play your game instead of vice versa.
So you were definitely ahead of your time with actually letting your real personality shine through, right? Instead of just like the standard fighter, I'm gonna go fight this guy and you're dead meat and like that kind of your elaborate walkouts and mostly in like Japan, stuff like that. Obviously there's nerves before a fight. Did those kind of things where you could just be yourself and the dancing and the girl, did that help you?
That's a great question. Yes, definitely. Like to the point where when it was taken away from me, I had trouble because the thing was I looked at the fight as a performance, a complete performance. I came from the 80s where, when we were kids, the pro wrestlers did the best entrances. It was like part of the show, it was, that was it, and for me, doing my dance and having my fun before, I did all kinds of wacky ones where, sometimes I would dance, sometimes I would have break dancers with me, sometimes I have crazy girls with me. So, it was a very, I looked at it like, it was all part of some performance art. It was a big show. And I did that. because in part to kind of warm me up, getting me in the zone of performance in order to give the fans. Because my big thing was, look, I fought my best fights when I was like, dude, I ain't really worried about winning or losing. I'm worried about giving the people the best show. So oftentimes, I would win because I would like still in there trying to put on the best show. And it didn't work every time, but there was a reason that I kept getting hired all the time because I was putting on good fights, giving my all. And, the people paid their money to sit in that seat. I want them from the time that I walk out to the time I leave the damn arena to be entertained.
So I know everyone asked you about it, so forgive me for being a fanboy, but I have to ask. UFC 52, which basically brought UFC back, right? I remember watching that distinctly. And your fight against GSP was I loved it. It was my first exposure to you, and I'm like,
oh no. But listen here, if you'll remember, that was the first fight back on television.
yes,
So what I realized was that not only was it the first card back there, but I was the first fight on card back on TV. So yeah. So wait, what are you asking about?
So that fight, I've heard you talk about it. You said you maybe had just gotten out of jail.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Even before that, and now you're thrown in with GSP, who's obviously was on everybody's list back then as a stud, like the kid's an up and comer, and then Joe Rogan was really putting you over on commentary, like telling doing what he does, right, telling the fans who you are.
seen firsthand, like how those days I was like very good at jiu-jitsu. Like I was very like a beastly young man, dude. Especially, and the weight was really hard for me to get to, but yeah, you look at the photos of me back then, I was just like a crazy looking animal, just a real like striated, like you know what I mean? Very guy. I run into those kids now. I run into them. I'm like, oh my God. Like, no wonder this kid is crazy. Just got goon strength out of nowhere. Just a crazy mentality.
Yeah.
Now, and I recognize it, and I'm nice to those guys because I was once that dumb guy who's just like stupid strong and like crazy, like just amped about fighting, And yeah, I went out there, and that was like one of the first times in my life that I realized that that old adage about it's the way you play the game, is true. Because I walked into the gym after that on Monday, so depressed, like, I'm gonna just get a little sweat and whatever, But dude, and the room was packed. I showed up late with a busted nose, and the whole room stopped and turned around and fucking standing ovation me, stopped training and everything. And I was like, oh shit, I was so depressed. But these guys like recognized what I did was so damn hard and did it with heart that, my heart grew 3 sizes like the Grinch, It was crazy.
Nice.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, that's probably one of my that card and that fight specifically are one of my fondest memories of getting back into UFC and that kind of thing. And I know that at that time, nobody wanted to fight GSP because he was it didn't make sense to fight him.
He was putting away everybody. I know. I was like that old prize fighter. I went the distance with George St. Pierre. In a few years, people were like, shut up, Mayhem. No, you didn't. I swear I did. Oh, man.
But yeah, like, I think obviously maybe for the American audience was that you fought from first bell to the end and like didn't give an inch. And it was obviously a tremendous fight. So
you're still awake. You could still win. Yeah.
That's it. So let's talk about.
That's what I say to my wife, too. I say that to her.
Let's talk about your other endeavors. Obviously, Bully Beatdown. Fantastic show.
Thank you. Yeah. That's like, man, that's a real crown jewel for me because Bully Beatdown was like one of those things that, and it's so strange because I was the first fighter back on TV in the UFC times, and then also was like the first like mixed martial arts programming in a way, like out of the UFC. So I feel very honored to have that distinction. And I'm so happy that now all the Bully Beatdown kids are grown up and doing awesome podcasts and like coming up and high fiving me at Dick's Sporting Goods. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how is this even happening? But bro, it was a life changing experience, and it was a really fun show to do with fantastic like writers and producers and like all the way down to the guy who did the craft services. Like it's really rarely do you get to work with like a big group of people who all of a sudden everybody's on board, everybody wants to help, everybody, and I felt like I was a big part of that because of like I had a positive mental attitude at that time where I was like trying to make sure that everyone around me succeeded. And I feel like I've captured that again. And it's really where, like, what do they call it? What do the hippie chicks call it? Oh, manifesting. I feel like I'm, and I hope you guys can figure that out too. Because right now, I mean, look, nothing is perfect in this world, but I really feel like I'm manifesting. Yeah. And you have to say it like that too. But yeah, back to Bully Beatdown. The reason I spun off about the team was because there were so many like really good professional people who had figured out the casting process, as well as because the UFC wouldn't help us with that show. They did not help us. Yes, we had a former champion, now he's former, but he wasn't anything at the time we got him. Daniel Cormier, one of the best of fighters, like unarguably, and one of the best Greco-Roman wrestlers America ever saw, but also one of the best fighters, just period. And then also Eddie Alvarez, Jake Shields was on it. We had like Andre Arlovsky. Dude, we had every like fighter that just at the time wasn't contracted to UFC, but we had all the greatest fighters, myself included. I got in there too. If you guys remember the show, I fought the Bully one time, and it was like a very fun, adventurous show. It was like a game show, like wrapped inside a reality show, kind of, like Squid Game on crack, I guess. It was fun. It was fun all the way around. And again, I'm blessed to have been part of it, and the fact that it's had such a resurgence. If none of your fan base saw it, I think they should. I think they should check it out again.
It's funny as shit.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah, forgot about that part. Yeah, it was funny as shit. Yeah, I was talking like it was a serious. Listen, when they first handed it to me, I thought it was They were like, yeah, they just explained it bare bones. Yeah. Well, see, it's going to be fighters. And I'm like, yeah, but the fighters are just going to beat the shit out of the bullies. Like, what is the point of this show? And they're like, no, but see, and then they're going to get money. And I'm like, yeah, but this is like, no, but you get to be funny. And I was like, oh, now I see. I get to make fun of them. Oh, I'm in.
How did you get that break? Like, where was that?
Hey, you guys are trying right now. Fucking YouTube's. Buddy, I was on YouTube in like 2006, like so much so that like I'm trying to get back on YouTube, and I realized that, man, like, wow, it's like when I started YouTube, I was like one of the first people to take advantage of the platform, and immediately rocket shipped off with my own MTV show. And now it's like, man, it's a lot of people on YouTube, and I like it. I really like it. I'm a YouTube addict, and I don't know how to bust the algorithm or how to fix my channel or whatever, but I'm going to jump back on there. Like I said, I got a couple projects, couple businesses that I'm working, but I feel like that was a big blessing that the internet just exploded, in the late '80s. And I did a few things called the Mayhem show. They're still out there. It was like at the Mayhem Miller show or Mayhem show, I think it was called. And I just did these funny little bits like rapping to Pinkberry, like rapping about Pinkberry. I was like, I don't know, just showing my training camp. I went golfing with my dad. It was kind of like Robin Big, but just me. You know, it was really fun and it was exciting. A guy named Chris Staub, he helped me do that. He was like a video editor who did all my fights in Hawaii, and I just befriended him and said, "Hey man, you should come to California watch my training camp." And there you go. Like that's how that all started. Now, when they were looking for somebody about Bully Beatdown, I was the guy because there wasn't anybody else. Like this is like 20 years before Conor McGregor showed up. There was like only one dude who knew how to work the mic real good and knew how to fight and, you know, could handle the MTV pressure. And I did it, you know, and, you know, like I said, I'm really blessed about that. That was a crazy one. You know, I'm sounding like John Jones the more I say blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
But I tell you though, like you said, when you first got the concept, before they tell you it could be funny, I don't know that, not trying to blow smoke, I don't know that concept works without you and the personality you brought to it. And you looked like you should be on MTV, not like a regular fighter.
I was an MTV kid. I know. I really was. Like weird red stripe in my head. I know. I was that era. Like now, like when I look back at that, I just crack up. It's kind of cringe, but it's also kind of coming back around. Like wrestling, like the aughts now. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are you guys wearing that whack ass pants that I wore in 2007? Like, get the fuck out of here. But I get it. Like fashion rhymes, you know, it's like always coming back around. But and no, now it's girls with red stripe in their hair. You know, it's cool. I'm down with it. And but yeah, that era was really wild. Oh man, wait, what did you ask? Fuck, I'm fired up with you guys.
No, I tell you though, but like you were ahead of the time of the letting your personality shine through when fighting. That's what fighters are doing now to make money. You were on YouTube before it was a thing. Right now, that's a popular thing to do, and I think it's great now that it's your resurgence and like you did all that shit, and now it's like you're recapturing it again.
Manifesting, bro. Manifest. Listen, but I always used to say it. I'll say it again.
Manifest.
Yeah, and it's kind of wild here. I'm from the future, and it's kind of wild here. So just because, like, you know, I got, like I said, I got some more things coming down the pipe, and now with a clear head, I feel like I can take advantage of that and really use these manifestation powers or whatever the hell you call them. You know, because I'm a skeptic about this kind of thing. So I just like that other people say it. Oh, you're manifesting. Well, all right. Well, I guess. Okay. So, you know, I think you guys are a part of the journey. You know, we're in here chit-chatting about this kind of thing, and I appreciate you recognizing that I was ahead of the time and I saw which way the wind was blowing, and I just caught a hold of that sailboard and just fucking flew, you know? And now it's time to do it again, you know? It's time to do it again and get that next generation of fighters that rocket boots that they need to take off to the stratosphere.
What about movies? Obviously, you were in Here Comes the Boom.
I was in a few like B movies too. If you look real hard, there's like badass B movies, like with crazy ass action in them and shit. One time got shot up by the good guy. Like I was like one of the bad guys to get blown away at the end of the movie. It was pretty badass. Like I got to oh man, yeah, I got to shoot a machine pistol. Oh my goodness, that's exciting, bro. The worst part was it jammed up in the middle, right? And I could have been a cool badass, right? And like just racked it and like win again. But like I was so afraid because I was in a movie. I never been in an action movie before. That I shot the machine pistol and it stopped midway. And I like, looked at the stunt guy like, and he was like, act. The director was like, act. I was like, and I tried to fucking ruin that take. He was like, that was great if it was Bully Beatdown. I was like, son of a bitch, don't make fun of me.
Fantastic. But Here Comes the Boom was a pretty big movie, right? Kevin James.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kevin James. Here Comes the Boom.
Selma Hayek was in that, I think.
Sorry,
Selma Hayek, right?
Oh my god,
Henry Winkler.
A little nervous standing around my manliness.
Oh, bro.
You were her off. She was blowing her lines all the time when I was on the set. I was like, ooh, I got her hot and bothered. I mean, I like to think that way, but yeah, she's yeah. And the thing about Salma Hayek is, ooh, yes, yes, exactly what you're thinking. Yes, she is as beautiful as you believe she is. Like, she's still a woman. She's still human, but another level of beauty. Really.
There goes Mayhem again, manifesting.
Oh, manifested destiny right now.
He's like, I manifested before I got on this interview.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Jason Manifest Miller.
Oh my God. Man, I'll take it, dog. I'll take it.
Do you still talk to Jason Ellis at all?
That's the funny thing. I was talking about him today. No.
Really?
I don't know. Listen, I spent a lot of time, and I, as you probably know, I cleaned up my act, got my life together. But buddy, I spent a lot of time fucked up doing fucked up dumb shit, and I take full responsibility for that. There's some things I can't even remember, so I don't even know what he's mad about. Okay, and maybe he is, maybe he even isn't. Maybe he's just giving me space to grow. But I always looked at him like a good bro, and he never. I mean, he was kind of an asshole too, but so am I. So I get it. He was an asshole to me. I was an asshole to him, and I don't know who won the asshole contest, but I got nothing but love for him. I hope he's doing good. I don't mind that he's not opening the door. It looks like he's got some good shit going on, Tony Hawk and all that. Yeah. So. It's like, and he, he's always doing something good. The guy is a very talented, creative guy who has like issues like all of us. His issues are different than mine. My issues are different than yours. We all got our cross to bear and our stuff to deal with. But, overall, he was a good friend. He was a good friend to me. And if you don't want to hang out, I respect that.
We had him on a couple years, maybe 3-4 years ago at this point. He seemed like a solid dude. Yeah. And you definitely added to his show when he on Sirius XM. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I thought so. I I know how to be a good co-host. Like I said, you fucking
do me a favor. Please teach Archie how to. Please.
Oh, you're such a cunt.
Like Italian Jason Ellis. I got to be honest. I can't. I'd better not. Yeah, fucking. Yeah.
That's funny. I love it.
Right? He has like the upturned smile, like he's all like you. Yeah. You should get one of them gold teeth right there, dog.
Yeah. And all I got to talk about is, hey, I like men and women.
Good eye. I'll fuck all.
I'll fuck them all.
That's great. Talk about, I know everyone asked you about this, but the Strike Force brawl. Speaking of doing stuff on national television.
Yeah. Buddy, listen, the first thing that happened after that was my phone started ringing, and my dad when I picked up, my dad went, "Damn, you're a Miller, ain't you?" And I yeah. He's like, "God damn, you fought everybody in the damn ring." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I think I'm going to get fined for that. And he was like, "What?" Nah, fuck that. It ain't your fault. You ain't going to get fined. I'm like, I think so. And I definitely did. I was like mad as hell because I had to pay the Tennessee Athletic Commission for getting jumped. Like, I didn't choose to jump me. They jumped me. They should have to pay the fine. But whatever. Yeah, I fucked up. Look, I fucked up a lot because I listened to my manager. I thought the deal was you go in there after, if Shields wins, you go in there and challenge him to a fucking rematch. Great. Deal. I'll do that. No problem.
Yeah.
Right before, because that was the plan. And they, the Strike Force had said, yeah, whatever, if you knock your guy out, and I did in a minute, 40 seconds, then we'll have a rematch if Jake wins, but they weren't counting on Jake winning. Jake fucking pulled himself up by his bootstraps and fucking beat my teammate, Dan Henderson, beat him. You know what I mean? Straight up beat him. So I went in there to claim my rematch, and oopsie daisy, the CBS lost mixed martial arts. And CBS was never a good home for mixed martial arts. You can't have blue bloods on and then MMA. It's just not going to work.
Who is it? Is it Gus Johnson? It's like, we're on live TV, gentlemen.
Fucking idiot. Hey, Gus Johnson, by the way, not only did Gus Johnson steal like a quote of mine, he stole a quote of mine and set it on the air. But then he like besmirched me, and he tried to get like one of his gangster friends to push up on me. And he like was flexing on me. I was like, motherfucker, I'm from the hood. I ain't fucking scared of you. Get the fuck out of here. Like, oh shit. Like, the guy trying to push up on me. Fuck off. Oh man, sorry. I got a little angry there. I don't know if this is a children's show.
You said when you mentioned before how Tito Ortiz really helped with your wrestling. You guys were like pretty much the original Team Punishment. You, Tito, Rico Rodriguez, Rampage. That had to be an exciting time for you.
Oh God, bud, that was like blew my mind, bud. I was a little kid from Atlanta at the time. I had moved from Atlanta. Tito told me to pack my fucking shit and come out there, and I said, "Yep, here I come." And I got out there, and Tito said, "Oh, you can live at my house." No. When I got there, he was like, "We're going to training camp." I was like, "Oh, shit." So we like went up the mountain as soon as I got there, and we started training camp. And that's where I met Rampage, one of my best friends in the entire fucking planet, bro. This guy is talk about a mensch. This dude is a rock solid dude, all the way around. And just a funny motherfucker. And me and Rampage we got along quick because we're from a very similar culture. I grew up in like an all black neighborhood. So it's like, I knew how to kind of talk to him. He knew how to talk to me. Like we were there with like a bunch of weird dudes from all over the country, all over the world, really. And, we had to fight each other every day. So it became, you don't become brothers with people without hard times, and fighting each other every day, working towards a big type, really working towards a huge goal. That will make you guys true brothers, that will make you guys rock solid. And yeah, it became that era of my life was very formative. The Team Punishment days is where I had the baseline, and we invented a lot of the training methods used today. Like a lot of the training methods that you still see employed, and of course people have updated them since then. But way back in 2001, that training camp, we were figuring out new ways because we had me. I was like a high-level jiu-jitsu guy already. I was like 20 years old, but I had 5 years of jiu-jitsu under me already. And then had Rampage, had excellent wrestling, had a bit of like street brawling experience. And who else was in there? Yeah, Rico, really high-level jiu-jitsu. Tito, of course, the UFC champion at the time. So we had all these different styles and different methodologies that we started mixing training methods in a way that nobody else had really done yet, and documenting it and then spreading it out all to the other to the camps across the world. It was like weird because back in those days, you went to jiu-jitsu practice, you went to wrestling practice, you went to kickboxing practice, and it's still a little bit like that, but we really mixed it in. Team Punishment, we mix it in for the first time and had to figure out how not to knock each other out, how not to cut each other during training, how to do ground and pound in a realistic way. And so that methodology became the blueprint for what a lot of people are doing today.
You still follow the sport today closely?
I mean, I really do. Like, I don't as much as I did when I was actively competing because it was my ass if I didn't pay attention to the 185s, But now I pay attention like higher level than a casual, but lower level than if they pay me 120 grand a year to follow it, you know? Yeah, but why? What are you thinking about? Talking about who's the best right now? What weight class? Let's
Who
talk
do
it.
you? I don't know. Who do you like? Who impresses you out there that you watch?
Well, I mean, look, man, we're recording this right after Marab did his work, and
Yeah.
it's the casuals hating on it, hate like saying it's boring. Buddy, that was fucking exciting, bro. He came out guns blazing against known to knock people the fuck out. He came in like wiggling around, man. Takedowns were nice. The ground and pound was okay, like, but Sean knows how to defend himself. So, yeah, but Rob, pretty exciting ass fighter. I gotta admit, and even Bilal, same thing. If y'all motherfuckers would educate yourself a little bit, I'm talking to you casuals out there. If you guys would educate yourself a little bit, you wouldn't think it was boring. You'd be understanding of how hard what he's doing is and how badass it is that Bilal just fucking slung that guy up over his head and slammed him right down to the man. That was badass. Like I don't know. It takes a lot to please the casual MMA fan. It has to be like, back to the just bleed times where guys are just grab him by the dick and twist it, like stupid shit like that. That's what people need. But
that was Archie's finishing maneuver.
I know. Like they're just, it's just gonna take time for people to get like. I'll say this, right? America not right now is hanging out at about a blue belt level, and so maybe it's like blue belt with like second stripe. But once people get to the purple belt level of understanding, then everybody will really enjoy martial arts in a different way. It's weird to see people calling that. Even Dana White is still at a blue belt level of under. He thinks that shit's not exciting. I think it's pretty damn exciting.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, even a couple pay-per-views back where he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna increase the bonuses. It didn't make them fight any harder." Listen, when you're fighting somebody, the idea is that normally you're pretty much equally matched, and you guys cancel your shit out. It's not like I feel like the MMA fans get too fickle.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's something you got to deal with. That is just part of the sport. And of course, it's going to ebb and flow. There's going to be people. A lot of people get to a certain level. It's the same as jiu-jitsu practice. Like people will go to jiu-jitsu class, get a blue belt, don't get past the purple belt, and then just quit. That happens. And then, or some people will just be super casual forever. Like they don't put any effort into learning the sport. They just want to see somebody get knocked out, and if not, it's a shitty fight. Okay, I get it. Not everybody has the passion or the time, to be honest. Like if you have, this is America, bud. You gotta go work your ass off to make anything, to make ends meet in this place. So for people to be interested in a sport, it's got to be kind of explained to them a little bit. It's got to be like, or it's got to be on their terms. So, if, and that's back to Bully Beatdown. That was the major accomplishment that I felt like I did with Bully Beatdown was I taught a lot of people martial arts. Like, here's what's happening on the ground.
Yeah.
This is what's happening. Oh, this is what's happening in the kickboxing bar. That's more simple to understand because, the guy falls down. Oh, shit, that was a good punch. But, with the jiu-jitsu, people need to understand a little more because, American wrestling culture is kind of a very niche thing. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I like, Barab's badass, but he's just on my head because that's the last one I saw. Look, Johnny Jones is getting this weird thing where goat. It's like goat propaganda, but goddamn, wow, Tom Aspinall is knocking my socks off with how explosive he is with the punch.
Yes.
And what a beast! Like what the hell? I want to see this guy fight again. Who else? Oh, Drakus. That guy is such a weird beast. You know what I mean? It looks like a bodybuilder. Does like awesome jujitsu, sort of like take a beating and keep coming forward. You got to kind of respect that. And of course, our boy Sean. Jeez, like great technician. The 85-pound weight class wouldn't be nothing without Sean. It really wouldn't. He's like really keeping that weight class interesting because he has like a wide variety of skills that make it so that he can figure out anybody at the game in the game. Like I thought he won against Duplessis the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we all thought that, but they the judges had to make it interesting for us, you know?
That's
So let's see if Sean, I guess Sean's going to fight him again? So
that's what they said, yeah.
all right, let's see if he makes the adjustments I think that Sean he has the cardiovascular output. He's a victim of being too smart. He's like too smart to fight his game, you know? He's like, if out there and DDP showed a lot of heart, but he also just showed, like in that Izzy fight, he showed me that he's really beatable. Like if you fight smart and you come with your cardio intact, and I think Sean will, I think he could beat him, but it's a tall order. You know, you got to dethrone the champ. It's gonna be tough. You know, it's gonna be tough, and if he gets you down, he's gonna make you tired. So let's see. I'm glad that fight's happening. That's one of those fights that I want to see.
Awesome. Before we let you go, I have to know, when you submitted Sakuraba, I need to know exactly what was going through your mind at that moment. Did you dream of something like that when you were a little Mayhem?
It was a little bit surreal, though, because I've done that choke since I was a little kid, but I've done that head and arm, arm triangle, whatever you want to call it, head and arm. When I caught him in it, I was like, oh wow, I got it. Like it happened. All this work paid off. Like all these years of doing something, like learning jiu-jitsu, learning how to kickbox, wow, it was surreal, bud. It was surreal. And I kind of cheapened it because I went that night out with the ring card girls and I got so drunk that I woke up in the morning thinking, oh shit, I gotta fight Sakuraba.
Oh God.
I forgot. I think what it was that I was so anxious for so many weeks up to that fight. Like, I gotta fight Sakuraba. I was so anxious about it that when I finally did it, like my brain was stuck in that, oh shit, I gotta fight Sakuraba. Yeah. I forgot. I blacked it out. I know.
Fantastic.
It's not my proudest moment, but yeah. I woke up thinking I gotta fight him. Oh, and then I realized, then the relief as I took Advil and I realized, looked at my party clothes and went, oh, thank God I already won.
And then he looked over at the girls and goes, you want to manifest again?
Destiny ladies?
Dude, honestly, thank you so much for giving us the time. So happy to see how well you're doing.
Thank you.
We're going to be following you on your journey. Where can everybody find you?
Fuck yeah. I'm Mayhem Miller at everything. Oh, wait. On TikTok, somebody got it. I'm Mayhem Miller MMA.
Nice. Dude, thank you so much. Like I said, so happy for you. You deserve it, and we can't wait to watch what you do next.
Man, thank you guys for having me, and good luck with the show. Hey, next, when I have something big to talk about, I'll make sure to come back on. All right,
please.
Guys? Thank you.
Love it. Appreciate you.
God bless you guys. God bless you.
Well.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That legitimately the one and only Jason Mayhem Miller.
Dude, I honestly, besides being one of my favorite fighters of all time, and you see what a kind of personality he is, I am so happy to see how well he's doing, because it didn't look good for a while. And I'm like, you could tell he was a good person and a talented guy, but sometimes, listen, we know that sometimes we can't get out of our own way, and that's what happens. I'm so happy that he's turned it around, and he really, dude, talk about what we talked about in the interview. He was personality in mixed martial arts while he was fighting before the Conor McGregors came along. He was doing YouTube videos. He was on the radio with Jason Ellis. He kind of did it all before everybody
Yeah.
Where everybody was doing it now, and now I'm so happy to see that he could still do it, and excited to see what the future holds for him.
Rocco, great interview. Great dude.
I forgot to ask him one thing though, that if we could, maybe next time he comes on, we do a almost like a Bully Beatdown revival where I just pay him to beat the shit out of you.
Well,
what do you think?
I better get my cardio up.
and your life insurance.
And my life insurance. With that being said, Rocco, what do you have to say to the people?
If you just heard us talking to our boy Mayhem Miller, you're all thriller, no filler. You used to love her, now you had to kill her, and can you milk me fucker like I'm Ben Stiller? Then you just listen to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast. Woof. Be out.